Let's go. Episode 35. Welcome back. Or if you're new, I'm Coach Pres. I'm a football coach with a profound interest in philosophy. Here we discuss everything from football, sports in general, all the way to these deep philosophical questions. We go all the way to the depths of existence, meaning, and all these metaphysical, maybe could be considered impractical topics, but I believe they're fundamental to becoming better at whatever you do. So today, that being said, today we're going to discuss confidence. We're going to break down the topic. We're going to explore what confidence is. We're going to get ourselves a definition, see where it comes from, and also look at ways of improving your confidence, because probably this is why you're gonna watch this. You're like, oh, confidence, okay. I wanna know what's going on. I wanna have more confidence. Everyone wants to be more confident. It's good. It's generally a good quality. Yeah. So before I start, I had an insight today, a bit poetic from me. Yeah, listen to this. Confidence, like the wind, cannot be grasped, but only felt. That's as far as I go. I'm not a poet, sorry. I will finish it one day. I will finish this potential poem. But anyway, now we can get into it. We can get into it. I'm a thinker, I'm not a poet. I can talk and think. So let's get straight into it. Let's start with the definition. What is confidence? Simple. I think the word for word definition of confidence is, I've written it down, a feeling or belief that one can rely on someone or something. This is the dictionary definition of confidence. Okay, I've written it down so I can tell you word for word. A feeling or belief that someone or someone or something. A feeling of trust in one's abilities, qualities, and judgment. This is self-confidence. I might be a bit picky, but if you have watched any of my other episodes, I really like to really nail the definition. So there is no uncertainty about what we're talking about. Like, what exactly are we talking about? It is very important to pinpoint exactly what we mean before we move on. Because if there is any ambiguity, then we end up having a different conversation. We go somewhere else. We're discussing probably something completely different. So we want to know exactly what we're talking about. What do you mean trust? What is to trust something? Think about this. Trust is the belief or hope that something will act reliably under pressure. Okay? So by trusting something, you're hoping, you're relying that it will act the way you expect it to act. You're trusting something. Because this is important. Confidence, then, if it's your belief or trust in a person or in your ability, essentially means you believe or you hope that this ability that you have, or that person is gonna act the way you expect it to act, so reliably, under pressure or consistently. Okay, I think this is important to nail down now, early on. We know exactly what we're talking about. There is no question, no ambiguity. This is what we're talking about. It will come into play later. It will come into play. We've got the definition out of the way. Now let's think about the origin. Where does confidence come from? Let's think about the past. A long time ago we're talking about. If you think about it, it's interesting how confidence has evolved, because it has evolved. As I was thinking about the topic, because I really like, before I do these podcasts, I don't sit down, write an essay. I just think about it. I think and think and think, and what questions do I have? Because imagine talking about a single like confidence for an hour. You have to really have thought about it. I'm not reading off of anywhere. I just read you the definition because I wrote it down because I think it's really important. But the rest is like, these are my thoughts. I have been thinking about stuff like that for years now. So it kind of comes out relatively smooth, yeah? And the origin of confidence. Let's go as far back as to before humans. We can talk about like, no one knows exactly where consciousness started, like Neanderthals before that, when exactly. But let's say before consciousness, it was, you could almost say that confidence and instinct was the same thing, if you think about it. Confidence was your will to act. You see, oh, you're hunting, you're a tiger. Whether I like tigers, that's why I'm gonna give a tiger as an example. You see your prey, and the tiger goes for it. If you interpret it, if you if you interpret this situation through our point of view, imagine the tiger is a human. The tiger goes for the prey as he sees it. Now is the moment. Boom, go. You would say that tiger is quite confident, he's going for it. He didn't hesitate there. You saw the moment and he went. But he is unconscious of this. He just sees it and he goes, boom. So his confidence is his instinct. There is no conscious element there. It's just, I see and I do, boom. It's the will to act, boom. So I have to do it, boom, I do it. Now, no hesitation. That's, if you think about this, is confidence, isn't it? I see it and I do it. Who does that? Confident people do that. They do something. Let's go. Let's do. People that aren't confident, they're like, maybe. Imagine if the tigers were not confident. They're like, no, it's not. It's not the. They would have died because they wouldn't be able to hunt together with humans, early humans or early versions of us. If they didn't have that trigger or hunt, it's time to go. Let's go. Boom. I go for it. We don't get here. So essentially, this gene for whatever it is, what you call it, confidence or instinct, it had to survive because it was beneficial. So that's why it continued existing. But then as consciousness started, as consciousness emerged, appeared, Then it became something else. Confidence is no longer the instinct, okay? Because now look at us, we hesitate so much about so many things. Now confidence is more of a narrative, it's a belief. You see, this is very interesting. Okay, this only happens, that change, because of consciousness. Consciousness in and of itself, it's a very interesting topic. Think about consciousness. So you're conscious, you have conscious thoughts, you have experience of reality, conscious experience of reality. That in and of itself is insane. But so confidence with consciousness, confidence evolved from an instinct to a narrative, if you think about it. That to me is so interesting. This is exciting for me to think about. So it was more so the will to act, and now it's a narrative. And what is interesting is it's everywhere in your life. That's why it's so important. It's everywhere. You think about life. In life, you act without having a guarantee of what's going to happen. So you act without knowing the outcome. So in every action, you put confidence. You do something because you believe something else will happen. I do this because I trust, hope, believe that this will be the result. But I don't know it. I don't know it for a fact. I hope so. So I'm putting my confidence in every action. Shows what my belief is. What do I believe is most likely to happen? Not most likely to happen, but yeah, you are essentially. Just take a moment to think about it, to think about what I'm saying. In every action, everything, I'm gonna, I found a way to frame it properly. Every action you take represents your beliefs, represents what you put your trust in. Yeah. Yeah. So this is kind of the origin and the evolution of confidence. Now let's think about, as we said, it's a narrative now. Where does that leave us in today's society? Who is confident, who isn't confident? You can tell, because it shows a lot. Body language, verbal language, like communication. You can tell. You see someone, you're like, oh, this guy looks quite confident to me. You don't need to do a micro analysis of, because he did this, or he did this, or his feet are pointing in this direction. You just know intuitively. This is interesting as well. But where does it come from? I was thinking, where does it come from? Why are some people confident much more than others? Why? Or just naturally? What do you mean just naturally? I don't believe that confidence is, I don't believe you're not born with it. It's learned. It's learned. And now we're gonna get into one of the foundations of confidence, which is experience. Okay, experience, memory. Memory combined with imagination, which was essentially what caused the evolution of confidence from instinct to a narrative. Okay, memory. You're born, you start having certain experiences. You try something and you get a certain result. Next time, when you do that thing, you're gonna be expecting something. The expectation is either gonna be met, and your confidence in that result, in that outcome, is gonna get stronger, or you're gonna get a different outcome, and your confidence is gonna get lower. This probably sounds very simple, because it is. But the whole process that we're going through, that whole thought process, is not so simple. So this is essentially how confidence is formed, in 2 sentences. You're young, I give you a behavior. You're hungry, you start crying, they give you food. Next time you're hungry, you start crying, they give you food. So now you're like, okay, if I'm hungry, I can just start crying and I'll get food. Now I'm confident. Crying gets me food. There you go, boom. What happens if first time you cry, you get food, second time you cry, you don't get anything? Now you're like, oh, what do I do now? Like, you don't know. There's that little uncertainty. Apply this to everything else in life. Yeah? And this is why some people are confident from a young age, some people are not. Some people, just their circumstances. They got so many. Something was confirmed a lot of times. An outcome was repeated so many times from a certain behavior that they grew in confidence. For others, they didn't really grow in an environment of certainty, if that makes sense. And they didn't. Some, I'll give you a more concrete example. So we really like bring it down to earth. We stop so we exist in this reality, not just in like my mind's metaphysical reality that I'm trying to explain to you, just concepts, because it gets a bit dry. Or just big words, big words, big words. It's too much. Okay. So example, when I was young, I was fast. I could run quick. I was born in a small town. The competition was little. Very little competition. How many kids is there? Not many. I turned out to be the quickest when I was very young. So I would beat this guy, beat this guy. So I just kept winning. I kept winning. So a narrative was reinforced in my head. I'm a winner. I win. I'm the best. Then there was something else. I used to draw a lot. Narrative started being reinforced in my head. Oh, you're so good. You're so good. You're so good. You're so good. Oh, look at him. He's like 6. Look at how well he can draw. Oh my God. I can't do that. I'm an adult. The best, the best, the best. You're amazing. You're amazing. Reinforcement, constant reinforcement. That narrative starts getting confirmed. I start getting constant confirmation. My confidence grows. So naturally, by the time I'm like 10, 12, I'm as confident as they get. All I've ever received is confirmation. It's just my circumstances. Like, I was getting just enough competition, so I feel pushed, but I still win. Everything, everything. Literally, that might sound a bit crazy. It was just, it is a bit crazy looking back. I was the best at this, the best at that, the best. I was pretty much the best at everything, to be honest. Pretty much. That's how I remember it. This is how it felt. When you're like 5, 6, 7, you remember how it felt. I don't remember the exact facts. I just remember every competition pretty much. About everything I pretty much won. I won so much, I mostly remember the second places. Because they like, what do you mean second place? So this is that. You either, your narrative is reinforced or it's basically broken. I grow up confident. Someone else that was win here, lose there, win there, lose there. They grow up being like, yeah, I'm like, okay. But I grow up like, I win in everything. I'm a winner. Yeah, boom. Different mindset. But this is just growing up. As adults, we can now look back and analyze the past. If you're smart enough, you look back and you analyze it. Obviously, up to the level of your intellect. How deep you're gonna go, what lessons can you learn retrospectively. That's up to your level of intellect. But that also means that everything is more, where your confidence is at the moment is pretty much entirely in your control. Because you can look back and say, hey, listen, the way I grew up to be this way, what a dumb sentence. The way I grew up caused me to be this way. Like, these external circumstances, they confirmed a certain narrative. But it was just the circumstances. Okay? I can now change that and I understand it. Some people were fortunate like me. I was very fortunate. That's nothing to do with me. I didn't work to build my confidence, to be fair. But then you have positives and negatives. I had like a big fall when things ended up not going my way in a big way. I had to really reevaluate and reconsider what's happening here. Wait, hold on. What do you mean? I had a problem. By problem, I mean fundamental problem. I couldn't accept reality. I couldn't accept that something will happen, that I'm saying no. But by no, I mean like 1,000,000% no, this is not happening. And it happened. And I almost like, I couldn't accept it. This wasn't my thing. Normally, my reality was, I say something or I want something, it will happen. I will do it. But then I was like, that doesn't really work with other people where other people are involved. And that was a painful lesson. But it was a lesson learned. Someone with from a different background that didn't grow up winning at everything probably wouldn't have had this hard time as I did, accepting that, well, that didn't end up going my way, because that was a big blow. And yet, lessons learned. My point is, as adults, it's now up to us to decide what narrative we want to tell ourselves. Are you going to make the decision to be confident or not? Because it's entirely up to you. This is you could say, a skill to a certain extent. Not exactly a skill. As I said in the beginning, it's more of a feeling. It's more of a feeling. But as we all know, I stay away from feelings, because feelings are difficult to describe, difficult to control. But if we use concepts and try and give ourselves a bit of structure and a framework that we can work with, instead of just say confidence is how you feel. No, if I can break confidence down for you and give you a framework how to build confidence, and I give you that framework that you can work off of, then it's easier. Instead of telling you, it feels like this, and then it does feel like that. And you're like, yeah, I kind of know what it feels like, but what now? We didn't identify anything. We just talked about feelings. That's my problem with feelings. It's too vague. It's too, as I said about the wind, fleeting. We need something more tangible, although we're talking about something completely intangible. So let's go into it now. Let's break it down. What is confidence based on? We said experience. So your past experience. If you do something and you get success, you'll be confident. Okay? If I'm a football player, if I've taken 100 penalties and I've scored 99, what do you think I'm gonna be thinking about my 101st penalty? What did I say? Memory plus imagination. My memory, I think about the past, when this happened in the past. Oh, you have taken 100 penalties before. I scored 99. And now I use my imagination to visualize the future. And I'm like, all I see is goals. Like, I can't see myself miss, because I literally I've never missed. So what do you think? Where is my confidence going to be? It's going to be up there, 99 out of 100. My experience. It's my experience makes me confident. What do you think? Am I going to be confident if I've missed 90 out of the last 100? No, of course not. Experience. Okay? Fundamental experience. All right? Now, that's easy to say. Okay, experience. Well, my experience from the past is I'm not a winner. Yeah. Things didn't go my way. I felt this, I felt this, I felt this. What do I do? Where do I get it from? The experience is not doing the job for me. Okay. The next thing. Where does it come from? You need to think. Be more specific. Confident. It's very difficult and rare. You could say it's rare to meet truly confident person. A lot of people are confident in a certain domain, in a certain area. You put them in a certain situation, they're confident. You take them out of this situation, you put them in a completely different setting, disappeared. Think about this. Put Messi, the best football player of all time, put him in front of a crowd to speak to 1,000 people. What do you think? Then tell him, you need to speak about religion for an hour. Do you think he's gonna go on the stage confidently? No, of course not. Why? He can be the most confident person. You can even put, okay, Messi is a bit of an introvert. Let's put Cristiano Ronaldo. Do you think he's gonna go on the stage confidently and tell him, if you mess this up, we're gonna take everything away from you? Let's up the stakes a bit. Do you think he goes on the stage confident? He's the second best football player of all time. He's made so much money. He's been in so many high pressure moments. But he's going on a stage to talk to people in English. His English is bad. He's not a public speaker. How many times has he spoken in public? He's done like press conferences. He's received a couple of Ballon d'Ors. And now he's talking about religion. What? What does he know about religion? He's not competent on that topic. So his confidence is not going to be there. Why? What's the issue here? What can he lean on for confidence? What's missing? He's a confident person. We all know Cristiano Ronaldo. Why would he not be confident there? I'll tell you now. Because he doesn't have the skill. He's lacking the skill. He's not a public speaker. He hasn't taken the time to develop this skill. He hasn't spent 5,000 hours speaking. He hasn't developed his English. He hasn't studied about religion. So that's the problem. It's the skill now. So confidence comes from skill at the end of the day. You can give me the most shy and like self-conscious person in the world, okay? Let's say to play football. He's bad. What do you think happens if I improve his skill 5 times? Like 5-fold. What do you think happens when he gets on the football pitch? Do you think he's going to be like this? Or he's going to be like that? He's going to be like that because of the skill that he's developed. So when people talk about confidence, you need to work on your confidence. Remember that one of the most important factors for confidence is skill. If you want your confidence to improve, develop your skill. Whatever domain you want to be more confident in, sit down, or if it's an athletic endeavor, big word, work on your skill, and your confidence guaranteed will go up. Okay? So skill, remember. Confidence in any domain is going to rely 99% on your skill. If you have all the skill in the world, what is there to worry about? You know what you're doing. What would give you a reason to not be confident if you know exactly what you're doing? Think about it. If I go and play football and don't have the confidence, why? Because probably I'm lacking something. And that skill, hopefully, would translate as you're developing the skill. This translates to what? To positive experiences, to you experiencing success. Success. I'm developing the skill. As I'm practicing, obviously you have to practice it. You keep getting more and more success. And then when it comes time to do it, like on the stage or whatever, now in your brain is like, I've done this 10,000 times now, you know. I'll, I've got this. I'm good at this. I've been doing this every day for the past 6 months. I'll do it. Easy. I know everything. I know that I know what I need to do. See? Now we can say, well, what about when football players are taking penalties? Valid point. But we're gonna address this as well. This is the next bit, the next step. I'm actually happy with the way I'm walking you through step by step, and it's not just step by step. There is almost like a narrative. Okay, we're gradually progressing. So step by step, you've got the skill. You think all the football players in the world. They have the skill. They've kicked the ball 1 million times. There is a penalty shootout though. Champions League final. How come some players just miss the penalty? They seemingly crack under the pressure. They go there, not what forgetting, hey, listen, I've kicked the football 1 million times. I can score penalties. I can definitely hit the target from 11 meters. Come on, it's just a penalty. Me versus the keeper, I can score that. And yet, a lot of them just miss. You can tell them to do that in training, they do it. Like, they're gonna give you 99 out of 100. Time comes to take a penalty under pressure, they miss. That happens. That's a valid point. They crumble under the pressure. So what's missing there? What is missing there? Why is the pressure getting to you? Why is your confidence all of a sudden not there? Let's think about it. What is the next step? Experience. You base your confidence on experience. Skill. Say base it on skill. But you have the experience. You have the skill. And you're going up for a penalty and the pressure is on. And you're like, it's getting to you. You're not confident. Why? Because you start thinking about potentially failing. And what will happen if you fail potentially? Or people are gonna say this and that, and this is gonna happen. This is gonna cost me this is gonna cost. So I think about the negative outcomes, potential negative outcomes, and they get to you. But why do they get to you? Why would something like this get to you? Well, because we're missing that essential part, which is basing your confidence in your character. Who are you as a person? Knowing that you can go through failure. Knowing that you're not a quitter, that you're gonna bounce back, that regardless of what happens, you move forward. If you have taken the time, if you have thought about this, and if you know for a fact, I'm not a quitter. what happens with your confidence? Do you think you're gonna crumble under the pressure when you're like, listen, if I miss a penalty, if I lose all my money tomorrow, if they sack me, I'm gonna bounce back. That's the person. That's the type of person I am. You think the pressure gets to you then? It's very difficult. It could happen. It could happen. You could still miss. But knowing that whatever happens, you will bounce back is gonna increase your chances by a factor of 100 to be successful. So we got to the next stage, which is confidence comes from integrity, your character, okay, who you are as a person. Now we've talked about this before, character and all that stuff. But we're getting to the deepest layer of confidence. It's not a skill. When I walk into any given room, I am confident. Although I might not be the most competent person in that room, but I walk in confidently. Yep, I'm fine. Do you know why? Because I'm like, even if, I don't know, if I embarrass myself, if I make 10 mistakes, if I, whatever, I'm like, I'll bounce back. I'll be okay. I have confidence in myself. I trust my character. I trust what I'm made of. How do you develop this is almost a different discussion, but what I've done is all the books that I've read, all the philosophy, it's just being self-aware and really understanding yourself and really making some choices, decisions. I've made the decision that I'm not a quitter. I've talked about this on the podcast of quitting. I did talk about this. Yeah. That's where the most that's the strongest type of confidence. Is the one that is comes from inside, comes from you knowing yourself. Like nothing can shake me. I can take anything. Okay? Tomorrow, or maybe it's gonna be today, or maybe even a day or two ago, by the time you're watching this, I'm going on the next block of my UFOB license. We need to present to do a session. What I do, is it gonna be perfect? Probably not. Am I confident in my ability? Yeah. I'm quite confident because I know what I'm doing. Okay? Am I gonna make some mistakes? Are they gonna point things out? Yes. Am I okay with this? Yes, I'm okay with this. Do I still have complete confidence in myself? Yeah. I'm gonna go in like I'm the boss. I'm gonna fail, like not fail, but I'm gonna mess some things up. But I don't care because I know I can mess everything up. It's fine. I'm willing to learn from my mistakes, and that makes me so calm. I'm like, yeah, I'll make mistakes, but I'm guaranteed I'll learn from it and I'll be better. So why would I feel stressed? Some people panic, even on this. Like there is no pressure. You just do your session, you get some feedback. I used to stress much more because I was probably thinking a bit more. I was thinking, what are they thinking of me? Before, I think it's natural, but you start moving away from this. Now I'm like, I don't care. Before I was thinking, what if when I'm rushing to say something, what if I make a mistake? I don't like making mistakes, even in English. I don't like. I mess up a sentence. I say in instead of or for. I'm pissed off at myself. I'm like, needs to be better. I need to speak like the Queen, the King of England. That's high standards. So I was like, too many things to think about. My skill improved. My confidence went up. I've been coaching now for hundreds, thousands of hours. Skill is up. And I've read so many books. Okay, now, okay, listen, you can, that's why I don't really care now. I care so much less what people say. You know why? Because I'm like, what do you this might sound a bit toxic, but my mindset might sound a bit arrogant, but it's not. It's just confident, humble confidence. I'm like, you wanna criticize me or make fun of me? Like, go ahead. But what exactly do you have to, like, why should I listen to you? Do you know more than me? About what exactly? I have read 250 books. What have you done? Kind of. I'll make more money than you. And is this it? Is this how you measure your competence as a person? Something along the lines. Not exactly this, but I'm like, because I've read so much. I've accumulated so much knowledge. I've developed so much skill in different areas. I'm like, okay. I go out of my way to seek criticism so I can get better. I go out of my way to go and talk to people about the topics that they're knowledgeable in. So I wanna hear. I wanna be like, let's talk about the thing that you know the most. Because otherwise, I can make you feel small, kind of. That sounds bad as well. Just being honest. I'm just being honest. I can overwhelm people with information. This is my 35th episode, 1 hour episode. I've been talking by myself for 35 hours or more on different topics. I have things to say. As you can see, I'm not really just giving you fluff. I'm trying to break the topic down, present it in a understandable, simple way, relatively speaking. So yeah, this is the core of it. Comes from inside here. Comes from you knowing what you're capable of this. I said it, I'm pretty sure I said it in the last episode. Whoops. Introspection, introspective thinking, really knowing yourself. Because when you really know yourself, when something happens, but you really know yourself, something happens that maybe doesn't like go your way. Someone says something to you or whatever, you can be like, is this true or not? If the answer is yes, but you truly know yourself, you know what you're capable of, and you know that you're willing to change it, there is no reason for you to be affected. And if the answer is no, that's not true, and I know it because I know myself and I'm honest with myself, then no reason for you to, again, to be affected. And that's, you could say that is unshakable. I have unshakable confidence. There is nothing that can happen in my life that is gonna make me less confident because I know what I'm made of. Okay. Do I have confidence in my ability as a coach, for example? Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm pretty good. Is there people that are better than me? Yeah. Will I be humble when I'm around them? Yes. I want to learn from them. But does that mean when I'm around them, I'm like, no, I'm like that. I'm still confident because I'm willing to learn. I'm happy to be there. I want to learn. I want to apply it. And ultimately, like, I wanna be up there. I want to see if I can be better than you. That's it. I'm still gonna be confident, and I'm happy to be there. But because my confidence is not based on me being a football coach, it's based on something else. It's based on something in here. For a lot of people, their confidence comes from from an ability they have, and they try and project it onto everything else. But you can kind of see through it. You can see through it. It's not really there. It's easy to see through. But when it comes from in here, it's just different. It's different. There is no, I'm not going to lose my confidence in any circumstance. I can be the most incompetent person in a room on whatever topic. I'm still going to go, yeah. I was just as confident on episode 1 as I'm here. And imagine the difference though. My progression. At least I think the podcast now is better than in the beginning. My pacing is better. I talk better. The flow is better. This is what I think. That's my opinion now. But was I just as confident? Yeah. Because I was like, listen, even if this is shit now, I will get better. Regardless of who likes it, who doesn't, I know I will get better. It might be shit now. It is what it is. We move on. My confidence wasn't based on me being a speaker and a podcaster. I still don't think I'm a podcaster. But I'm like, yeah. Has my confidence increased? Because I can speak better now? Yeah, I think so. Because now I'm adding this. My skill is improving. I have now experience. I can look back at some episodes and say, oh, that's quite good. I can look at episode 5 and then episode 25 and I can be like, oh, that's become much better, to be fair. And that makes me more confident. So we covered the basics. We've covered pretty much everything. You know now what confidence is based on. Just go over it again. It's based on experience or experience slash knowledge, you could say, skill or skill slash knowledge. But essentially, this is what I attribute it. These are the 3 main areas that I see: experience, skill, and character. Knowing yourself. That's basically it. You cover these, you keep working on these, your confidence will keep going up and you will find it. But you have to keep working. If I want to be a confident coach and I stop coaching for 5 years, do you think I'm going to be as confident when I come back? No. Okay. If I believe in myself, but then I quit things. I say things and then I don't do them. I don't stick to my word. It starts cracking. So you have to put in the work. It's not something that you get and it stays with you forever. It only stays with you for as long as you're willing to put in the work. So it does take work. Otherwise, as soon as you stop working, that confidence starts turning into arrogance. And that's the thing that you don't want to have. You do not want to be arrogant. Arrogance is where your ability is here and your confidence is here. Your confidence can be here, but your ability has to be here. There's no problem with that. I even like people praise it, but I don't like people that their ability is here, but they present themselves as if their confidence is here. It's a bit fake for me. I don't know. I understand the humble attitude, but yeah. And to come full circle, if you think about it, I did say confidence used to be instinct before it evolved together with consciousness. So confidence and instinct in animals was the same thing. Tiger sees the prey, goes for it. He goes for the kill. He's going for the neck. Doesn't hesitate. No hesitation. Tiger sees the prey. He goes for the neck. There is no hesitation. Is that confidence? Yes. Confidence and instinct used to be one thing. Consciousness emerges. Now confidence is a narrative. You believe that what you're going to do is going to be successful. You believe it. You tell yourself you can do it. You do it, good. But then you think about it, at the highest level, if you're at the highest level, if your skill is up here, if you really think, not many people are going to be able to relate to this. Confidence goes back to that instinct. When Michael Jordan plays basketball, when Messi plays football, LeBron James plays basketball, they're not thinking, they're just doing. They see the opportunity, they do it. There is no thinking. So at the highest level, when you're in the zone, in a state of flow, confidence becomes one with instinct again. And that's beautiful to observe. And I went on this. We've come full circle now. We've completed the story. So yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching, listening, and anything else. Like, subscribe, all that stuff. Yeah, thanks again, and I'll be back next week. Let's go for that.